interpersonal skills effectively, you have to decide the relative importance of achieving objectives, maintaining a relationship with the person or persons you are interacting with, and maintaining your self-respect. The skills you use depend on the relative importance to these goals. You will have a handout to clarify goals and interpersonal effectiveness, and a handout to clarify priorities in interpersonal situations. Now I want to discuss why clarifying goals to be effective in interpersonal interactions is important for you to know what you actually want. In other words, what the goal is. This is not easy. Interactions can get off track because you are not clear about what you really want. Interactions can also get off track when emotions interfere with knowing what you want, or because of some interpersonal myth that causes fear of saying no. Speaking up for yourself and what you want may come out so assertively that you can't even think about what it is that you want. When what you want is not aligned with the people you are asking, you are separated from the pack. Feeling ashamed or shamed by others for your separateness can cause you to think you don't deserve what you want. And that can interfere with believing it's okay to have goals and objectives. There are 3 potential goals in interpersonal situations. 1 is objective effectiveness. 1 is relationship effectiveness. And the 3rd is self-respect effectiveness. You are going to learn specific skills for each of these. For objective effectiveness, you will learn the skill, dear man. Objective effectiveness refers to attaining your objective or goal in a particular situation. Remember that relationships are transactional. The objective is typically the reason why you get into the interaction in the first place, when you are trying to reach objective effectiveness. The key question to ask yourself is, what specific result or change do I want from this interaction? This is what you want to happen by the time the interaction is complete. And maybe something you want them to do, stop doing, to commit to agree to, or to understand. You have to be specific about your objective. The clearer you are about what you want, the easier it'll be to apply objective effectiveness skills. And the clearer it will be as to whether or not you will succeed in reaching your goal. Examples include refusing an unwanted or unreasonable request and making that refusal stick. Another example could be getting your opinion or point taken seriously. Another example might be resolving an interpersonal conflict. For relationship effectiveness, you will learn the skill give. Relationship effectiveness refers to keeping or improving the relationship while at the same time trying to achieve your goal in the interaction. The key question to ask yourself here is, how do I want the other person to feel about me after the interaction is over, whether or not I get what I want? At its best, you'll get what you want, and the person may like or respect you even more than before the interaction. This likelihood is increased by using relationship effectiveness skills. An example would be acting the way that makes the other person actually want to give you what you want or feel good about what you're saying no to or requesting. Another example would be balancing immediate goals with the goal of the long-term relationship. If improving a relationship is a main objective, you might want them to notice you, like you, or approve of you, or to stop criticizing or rejecting you. This would be an example of a need to enhance the relationship as an objective and should be considered under objective effectiveness. In this case, relationship effectiveness refers to choosing a way to go about developing, improving, or keeping the relationship that does not at the same time damage the relationship over the long run. An example would be you understand the other person's perspective while at the same time you ask this person to change how they treat you. You avoid threats, judgments, or attacks. Always making the relationship the main objective doesn't work. If you're highly concerned with maintaining relationships, approval, and being liked, you might be willing to sacrifice personal objectives for the sake of interpersonal relationship goals. This could be because of a myth that you won't find new friends, you won't find another partner, they will leave you, they won't like you anymore. You may believe that your relationships will go more smoothly, approval will be ever forthcoming, and no problems will arise. Can you see how that's an ineffective way to meet your objectives? Again, it's leaving yourself. It's not being true to yourself. It's not having integrity or being honest. Giving up on personal needs in relationships doesn't work either. Although a person can survive in such a relationship for some time, frustrations will build up and will have to be dealt with. When frustrations are long-standing, the unmet needs are large and the sense of inequality is extreme. One of two things will happen. You will blow up and thereby risk losing the relationship through the other person's rejection, or you will, in frustration, leave the relationship on your own. Either way, the relationships come to an end and or end up in serious jeopardy. Extreme behaviors may be effective in the short term, but are not effective in the long term. If you're extremely unskillful early in a relationship and you make it what you want in the moment, you will likely jeopardize the relationship in the long run. Using interpersonal skills will not only enhance your relationships, but improve your chances of obtaining interpersonal and social approval rather than the opposite. For self-respect effectiveness, you will learn the skill fast. Self-respect effectiveness refers to maintaining or improving your respect for yourself and respecting your own values and beliefs while you try to obtain your objectives. Self-respect effectiveness means acting ways that fit your sense of morality and make you feel the sense of competence and ability to master skills. The key question to ask yourself here is, how do I want to feel about myself after the interaction is over, whether or not I get the results or changes that I want? Improving self-respect can be a main objective. If the main goal of the interaction is to do something that will enhance your self-respect, enhancing self-respect is the objective. This should be considered under objective effectiveness. That's what happens when you simply act in a way that stands up for yourself, and speaking is most important. When getting what you want is not as important as asserting what you want, asking for something, saying no, or expressing an opinion, you are aiming to be self-respect effective. Self-respect effectiveness refers to how you go about improving and keeping your self-respect. Relationship effectiveness refers to choosing a way to improve your relationship that is not at the same time inadvertently damaging your self-respect, either short-term or long-term. This could be standing up for yourself, defending your friend, voting for what really matters to you and what you really believe in, or being courageous. Always making self-respect the main objective does not work. Always wanting to be on top or have control or power, never letting another person win an interaction, wanting to prove a point or defend a position no matter what can compromise long-term effectiveness. Violating your morals diminishes self-respect in the long term. If you seek approval, lie to please others or get what you want, or any other experience of selling out or selling your soul, self-respect diminishes. Acting helpless also diminishes self-respect in the long term. You might be using it as a strategy like the damsel in distress, but that strategy will inevitably lead to reduced mastery and self-respect if it is often overused. Skilled interpersonal effectiveness is deciding on the relative importance of the three effectiveness types: objective, relationship, and self-respect effectiveness. You have to always consider all three. Each type of effectiveness may be more or less important in a given situation. The effectiveness of a behavior in a particular situation depends on your priorities. An example of this: your friend just got broken up with. She wants to come over and discuss it. An objective goal you have would be that you go to bed at a reasonable hour. A relationship goal you might have would be to keep a good relationship with the friend. A self-respecting goal would be to balance caring for your friend and caring for yourself. What's most important? If the friend is very, very important to you, you might forego going to bed tonight and sit up and listen. But if you really need sleep, maybe you can talk on the phone for 15 minutes and promise a later date to spend time together and process. The first example was relationship effectiveness as the most important. The second was an example of self-respect effectiveness taking priority. If you really need to go to bed and that's your objective for the night, you can blow off the friend and go to sleep. That will be putting objective effectiveness at the top. You get to choose what's most important.